Checking 1, 2. There we go. Jeremiah Bond, first in. Congrats. Okay, can I type into this chat? What the hell did I just do? Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Welcome, guys. Just setting up the streaming setup here. I see audio is good. Charles, how you doing? First face, lots of 07s in chat already. What's up, guys? I thought it's about time to get some live streams. I'm wondering, well, we'll wait for some more people to come in. I'm just trying to set up everything. Can I type into the chat itself? I don't think so. Can I? Doesn't work. So what's on everyone's minds? No 318 yet, although Xylo did say this. Actually, you know what? Let's go over some news. Let's do that. Yeah. Okay, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at some Star Atlas goodies. We'll take a look what's been tweeted out. The new AMD chips are out. And anything on your mind, right? Welcome, Charles, Jeremiah, Allison. Okay, is there a count that shows me? I think I've got the settings right on my Discord channel. Out. And here's the chat. Check 1, 2, 3. All right. Hey, Antoine. How you doing? Okay, can I pop this chat out? Hey, Eradicator. We're just going to talk about you. No, I haven't bothered live streaming in a long, long time, but I thought might as well jump in and, do an hour here and there, get a proper schedule going. But I saw your exchange. I was on kind of vacation for a while, so I didn't want to get into it and bother with all the nonsense. You know how much garbage it is dealing with all that crap. So I thought, no, on vacation time, I don't want to deal with it. So I was just catching up on it today, and I see it was all resolved. And resolved okay. The video came back up. It was weird that I struck you. In fact, you know what? Let's do this topic right now while we're on it. All right, let me just get everything. I'm trying to pop out the window. Pop out chat. There we go. That's what I wanted. What's up, Buzzkiller? What's up, Uncle Porkchop? Yeah, you know what, Eradicator? I know it's a lot to deal with while it's happening. And you basically got to weigh out, is this worth my effort or not? And at the end of the day, it's a lot of wasted energy. And you go, well, you know what? Let's do this from the very beginning. Yeah, I saw some of Morphologist's video on the topic too. So Morphologist, I felt like lectured the guy. I've got a lot to say about that in itself. I think Michael Wagner, here's the thing. And I don't want to sound like I'm defending the guy, but essentially, there's no email you get, there's no notification you get when you become successful, you start running a larger channel, or you start running $1 million company. At no point in time does someone come up to you and say, this is how you must behave going forward. There's nothing like that. So for him just to try engage you on Twitter and do that kind of thing might seem weird, but no one told him he can't until now. So that's where it came in. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this, but since your name popped up, I thought I would. I was going to get to that. There's a bit to talk about on the topic. And I got to say, I don't fully agree with the the flack Michael Wagner got for it, because he didn't know. He really didn't know. I don't agree with the strike on the channel. That was bull. He should not have struck a video, because that's nonsense. That's just abuse of it. I don't even know what kind of guideline they could have violated. Maybe you guys know YouTube better than me, but what violation is there if you criticize someone else? I know there's an anti-bullying thing they do. You can't go and insult and bully someone, cyberbully on YouTube. They're very strict about that, but I'm not aware of, I don't know what regulations he felt were broken that he could actually go and strike a video. That is something I don't understand, but I see it was rectified. So I agree with you, Eradicator, on the amount of energy you want to put into this should be zero. I mean, there's nothing to gain from it, nothing but stress and people attacking you from his side, which is not the focus. I don't think anyone wants to see too much about that. All right. Yeah, makes him different from being neutral. Yeah. But look, again, I don't want to come out sound like I'm defending Michael Wagner. Like, Star Atlas should not have struck the video, but at the same time, as a relatively new, how old is Star Atlas now? They can't be more than 2 years old. Is it a relatively new CEO? No one's told him how he should behave, and punching down is something which is not very obvious to people, and I guess that's what he did in this case. But, again, too much was manually done. Yeah, they went out and basically said they wanted to strike the video. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking, Eradicator. Basically what they did was, I guarantee it must have been like cyberbullying. Like he said, I'm being bullied. When they choose why you want to strike it, did they use copyrighted music? Did they use images you weren't allowed? And some selection was cyberbullying. They did the cyberbullying thing, 100%. I don't see any other way. But again, I think he took an important lesson from this, that him engage as much as you want to. Look, I've been guilty of this too. I'm sure it's happened to you. Any of you guys who run social media of any kind, there's always someone that comes in that kind of that rub you the wrong way, and you want to get at them. And then when you get at them, they're like, "Oh, why are you punching down, man?" And it happens. It's happened to me. I had a guy drop a comment on one of my videos. It was something rude, I don't know, and I basically told him to what he should go do with himself. And his response was, "Look at this guy. He's got like this big channel. I mean, my channel isn't big, but that guy had no channel. And it was basically, I'm punching down, picking at someone who doesn't have a large YouTube channel, and therefore I'm the one that's out of line." It's happened. It's weird. Yeah, obviously, when you tell someone there's something wrong, or you're trying to provide positive criticism, keep in mind that Michael Wagner has $20-30 million in his bank account, and he's happy, and I don't think he needs to care about other people's opinions, especially when they're negative. Yeah, obviously he does, but when it comes from whether it's me or you or anyone else criticizing Star Atlas in the project, you know what? It may suck, but he shouldn't bother dealing with it. There's enough people in his community that should be dealing with that rather than him. That's my opinion. Same with Chris. Look, Chris Roberts went through the same thing. You remember early on with the whole thing with the who was it? I forget the individual, but one of the goons was really bugging them, and like they were attacking Sandy, and then they were attacking the kids. Well, attacking the kids, but like basically showing pictures of the kids because the kids were listed on IMDb for something. And it got to the point where Chris Roberts stepped in and wrote a whole letter. You guys remember that, right? What's up, Stuart? So yeah, there is a point, I think, where a CEO or someone higher up does need to step in and say something. But in a case like this, where Eradicator simply made a video saying, Star Atlas sucks balls, maybe not. Montoya snores. So yeah, Von Ventru, let's go, man. Let's do it. I'll meet you on Twitter and we'll fight it out. Was it Derek Smart who was doing that? I don't think it was Derek Smart. But anyway, it got to the point with Chris Roberts where they did have to... Actually, we don't even know what happened. It kind of just died away, right? Yeah. Star Atlas is a scam. Pay them no mind. Well, Jack Tyler, here's the thing. If they were a scam, they could have closed up shop and gone. They raised about $130 to $160 million for the initial NFTs. At that point, they could have wrapped up and said, thank you for the money, and just, rug pulled. But they didn't. They went and they hired people, and they're hiring all ex-Star Citizen devs to make their ships, and they're trying to do something. And I've spoken about this in my previous videos. Guys, I do follow crypto. I do follow NFTs. And if those of you just want to come here to hear me just slam them, you'll be disappointed because there is value in some, and there's lots of junk. There's 95% junk, but there's also value out there. And Star Atlas is one of the companies that's trying, at least. They're not making some stupid pixelated picture. They're trying to do something. Whether it succeeds or not, we have yet to see. You guys know my feelings. I've spoken about this in the past a lot. So to call it an outright scam, I would say no. I would say there's definitely a risk of failure. If at that point they fails, they don't produce a game, we can say, yes, you can technically call it a scam. But at this point in time, a lot of people are calling, or still call, Star Citizen a scam. So any of you Star Citizen backers have been on the receiving side of that. And, you got to give it, like I said, the problem is not, or rather the problem is they're trying to make a game. Now, as Eradicator pointed out, and as we all know as Star Citizen backers, it's tough. It's going to be really, really tough to pull out a game of what they're thinking. The scope of what they want to do, or rather what we think they're trying to do, is impossible, I think. More so because Star Atlas has run into an unforeseen problem. And that unforeseen problem are the broader market dynamics, and that is the value of their token Atlas, and the perceived value of the NFTs is down through the floor right now. When they put up a new ship for sale, there are 0 sales. I haven't checked recently. I've been away for a month. But the last couple of ships they put up for sale, maybe 1 sold, maybe 2 sold for like 2,000, 3,000. No one is buying the ships. And if no one is buying the ships, that means continued funding is a problem, right? Thank you for the 5, Wild Beast, man. So Star Citizen has dodged that issue. Because Star Citizen is not selling you an NFT, they are selling you a spaceship you can use in the game, or will use in the game at a future time, and they are still selling. So if tomorrow Star Citizen comes along and says, we are now going to sell you this gold and black skin, by the way, the 890 jump that what's-his-face put up, oh my God, what's his name? Oh, I can't believe I forgot. He put up a mock-up of a black and gold 890 jump. If tomorrow they come out, if Star Citizen comes out and says, we are selling you a black and gold skin for an 890 jump, and it's going to be $50. Guaranteed they'll make $1 million over the next couple of days. So the continued development of Star Citizen is happening because backers are still putting money in and buying the stuff they put out. Star Atlas has run into a problem where they say, here's our fancy new ship. No one's buying because the value of a ship used to be here. Now the crypto market's crashed. The value of ship is down. It's down. No one wants to risk their money. I don't believe Alpha can help you. Uncle Porkchop, what are you talking about? Star Atlas or Star Citizen? Just because they're not leaving, closing up shop and moving to South America doesn't mean it's not a scam. Yeah, look, Jack, you got to give them benefit of the doubt. They're not anonymous. They're not some anonymous crypto project. Everyone knows who they are. If they fail, it's because they failed to execute on what they promised. And the problem they have is even the people who are not into Star Citizen see Star Atlas going, yeah, they want to do what Star Citizen is doing, but with NFTs. So, again, broader market environment, big risk for them. Because if they cannot keep on raising funds, and we've seen through the development of Star Citizen, let me pull the chat to this window so I'm looking away all the time. Oh, there we go. I didn't even see my face in the camera. So my train of thought was, I lost my train of thought. Let me just read where I was. Can never be a game because NFT investors don't care about games. Yes, very good, Jack. All right, so as I was saying, the risk for them is they keep on putting up new ships. No one is buying the ships because people don't want to lose the capital in invested items. What happens next is they'll have to scale down the rate of development. We've seen in Star Citizen, they're expanded from a small office of 15 people to they moved the California office, then the Texas office, then they got the Montreal office, and the UK office, and then they got the Germany office. They keep on expanding because you got to keep on bringing people in to build this enormous game. Star Atlas is going to run into a problem when they say, all right, we didn't make 50 million this month. In fact, they didn't make 50 million this year. In fact, I don't know if they made 10 million this year. I don't know. Well, it's easy enough. We'll go check the blockchain. I don't have the links with me. Von Ventru, I recognize you. So it'll be interesting to see going forward if they have to scale down what they're doing, or once they start showing what the actual gameplay will be like. And that's the big risk, because we saw the racetrack. And the racetrack is a straight off ripoff of what Star Citizen. In fact, I said this many, many months ago when I followed Star Atlas, is they're following the Star Citizen playbook. And I said the next thing's going to come is, a hangar module, and next thing is a racetrack. And there it is. So yeah, they're definitely following the roadmap, because they don't have to reinvent a wheel here. What they want to do has already been done. All they're going to do is replicate it, and that's where it's easy mode for them. But tough mode is continuing raising of funds, and I think that's where the risk lies for Star Atlas in the short term. Can they keep funding the game? Especially in light of a bad crypto market, can they find investors if they need them? Or can they sell more NFTs no one is buying? Because if you bought this NFT for $10,000 a year ago, it's worth $1,000 now. Those prices are on the secondary market and are not doing very well at all. So I do believe it's a worthless project, but they're not concerned about seeing what the project becomes. Yeah, look, I think it's fascinating. And I'll give Star Atlas kudos, and I'll praise them for at least trying, because in the whole world of NFTs and gaming NFTs out there, they are above and beyond what everyone else is doing with like these crappy mobile games that are out there. Just look like absolute garbage. It's all like I don't want to slam indie level games. Some indie games are good. What's it survival game I played recently? Crap, I forget. There's good indie games, but a lot of this stuff coming out for crypto is like low-level indie games that you would never touch ever, but they slap on the crypto or NFT label on it, and crypto bros go and play Flappy Bird, and every time Flappy Bird makes it past 10 waves, you get 0.00001 of a cent, and they go, wow, this is an amazing use of NFTs as a game. But it's not. It's garbage. The game is garbage. So NBA selling NFTs, they are? Yeah. Look, I've got a lot to talk about NFTs, and they get a very, very bad rap. But the bottom line is NFTs are just a receipt. An NFT is a digital receipt that you own something. That is it. Now, if you want to attach a stupid pixelated Pokemon to it and say this is worth money, yeah, that's weird. But there are uses for it. There's tickets as proof of ownership of an item. There's tons of uses for it. It's just we've seen the absolute worst cases. 99% of the stuff out there, 95%, is absolute garbage. And we'll see it. Robert Johnson for 20 New Zealand bucks. Thank you. I appreciate that. On behalf of Smart. Yeah, what is up with Derek Smart? We haven't heard from him in a very, very long time. It's been ages since we heard anything of Mr. Smart. But anyway, let's not keep on flogging that dead horse with that. But the bottom line is, okay, well, Eradicator, if you're still around, yeah, I'm glad that's done. And you're right, put it behind you. No need to keep on putting energy and effort into it. All it's going to lead to is fights and arguments and people harassing you. It's not worth it. The bottom line is this will play out in its own time. Whether it takes 6 months, a year, or 2 years, we'll see where this plays out. My feelings are Star Atlas will have financial problems left to pare down what they're doing. But even a pared down version of what they want is head and shoulders above other NFT gaming projects out there. I'll leave that as a positive note for Star Atlas. Derek Smart was wrong. He moved on. Did he? He kind of just wound down and disappeared. I felt bad for Derek in a way. Because he put a lot of effort. I can't believe that he didn't leave that with a bit of scarring. It takes a lot of effort to do what he did in bashing Star Citizen. And, I mean, Star Citizen basically, it stood the test. He said funding would dry up. He said 90 days. It went way beyond that. And I think this year is going on to be a new record year yet again. Yeah, that was the thing. Everyone was slamming line. You know what they say? Accuse your enemy of what you are doing. And so he kept on accusing Chris Roberts of scamming people, of making a game which can never be made. The scope was too wide. The game was going to be garbage. It was all projection. All of it was pure projection. Bonjour, Legion Vitrix. How you doing? From beautiful Montreal. Beautiful ladies in that town. I think you realize now. Yes, thing is, Cyberwolf, one of the unique things with Star Citizen is that there's definitely a large group of people that want to see the game fail. And there's entire communities. Look at the refund subreddit. There's communities built around cheering for failure of Star Citizen. It's a lot of people just basically, I don't know if I can say these words on YouTube. YouTube's pretty strict. I'm not going to say things on YouTube. A bunch of people standing in a circle doing things, a daisy chain of sorts. And all cheering for the game to fail because they paid $40 at some point and they hit an elevator bug and they realize the game is trash and they're over the 30 days and they can't refund it. And now it's the worst thing which happened in their life. For some people, it's very serious. Anonymous saying he found something else to be neurotic about. I haven't kept up with Mr. Smart, but I hope he's well and going on with life. You know, life is too short to be spending time bashing things like that, in my opinion. But that's just me. I know people, actually, YouTube allows for adult humor. They are, this is my first stream. I'm not going to push it, but I'll have to keep on checking. How's the stream quality, by the way? Video good? Why is my lights not on? I can't be a serious content creator without lights. There we go. Oh, wait. This light has to be off. Yeah, now we're cooking. How's that? Better or worse? Legion Vitrix, does anyone know what type of studio they have? I mean, how large is it? They've here's the thing, Victrix, they've farmed. We're back onto Star Atlas. Now, Eradicate, I've streamed on Twitch in the past. I just haven't done any live streams for a very long time. They've outsourced all their work. They don't have an in-house studio. I think there's one or two game devs in studio maybe. But the rest of it is farmed out. They've raised about $130 to $150 million, and so it's given them some runway to work on that. Now the ring light. Yeah, my ring light's not here. This is just a normal flat light.
We've now moved into the mood lighting of the evening.
Fuck, I guess I should turn off my Discord. Oh, it's VKR and Seth. Hey guys, welcome. Actually, you know what? Let me pull these. Check. There you go. Okay, you guys, your icons are now displayed on the stream. So if you guys just came in, we're just covering Star Atlas. Eradicator had a run-in with the CEO, and we're just talking about NFTs and gaming. It was very thrilling.
Yeah, the fact that you haven't figured out who I am in the stream yet. Recognize me, senpai.
Oh, how am I supposed to know how many alts you have? By the way, guys, this is Seth and VKR. They are staff members in Test Squadron. If you're in Test, be sure to drop in and say hello to them. VKR is down under. And Seth, are you in California? Where are you living these days?
Still Georgia, man. Still Georgia.
Oh, good. How's it down south?
It's not California.
Yeah. So you've been into the whole crypto thing for a while, Seth. Do you have any NFTs? Are you a big NFT investor?
I only have NFTs in the only legitimate NFT marketplace around. That would be the GameStop marketplace. No, the GameStop marketplace. If you're not into the NFT marketplace with GME America, I just feel bad right now.
That's right. GME did go for it. That was interesting. Yeah, I don't blame them. I think it's a hot sector to be in, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a $400 billion sector. It's really hard for people to be like, oh yeah, why would you move into NFTs? It's like, oh wait, hold on. You can make money with this. Yeah, look, a lot of people are bashing it, and I've come across a lot of people join my channel because they want to see me bash it, but I can't because there are some good points to it. Dr. Disrespect is a perfect example of that too, because he funded the game he's making now called Midnight Society by selling Flare NFTs. It's the mask the characters are wearing, and he sold that Flare for $50 as an NFT. I don't see a problem with that. He's raised the money. You got the same thing as Star Citizen. Chris Roberts gave you an Aurora $50. You got the Aurora, he got $50. Dr. Disrespect doing the same thing, except it's an NFT. You can just sell it then on the third market, on another secondary market. It's
not tied to your account anyway, like in Star Citizen. So that use of NFT, I got no problems with. I think it's a perfectly good use case of it.
So the benefit that you see moving forward, especially when it comes to the NFT marketplace that is coming out, especially with the GameStop wallet and everything, is the fact that creators get credit every time you make a sale. And that is the first time that we're going to see an explosion of creators when it comes to online products. Hey, I can make money making something, and then if people use it and then resell it, I'm still getting credit for that. Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah, look, it makes sense. There's definitely good use cases. As an artist, if you made a fancy piece of NFT art, I buy it, then I decide I'm going to sell someone else. That artist gets a cut of that resale value into perpetuity, which is a wonderful thing for an artist versus selling a picture once and never seeing any profit again. So yeah, there's definitely great use cases. And Dr. Disrespect's game, I'm hoping, will be one of these that succeeds. Whether the game's good or not, we have yet to see, but I'm hoping it will be. And I'll be one of the few that has successfully managed to use NFTs. We'll see.
Let me take you down a rabbit hole real quick. You ready for this?
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Okay. So let's say that you are a graphic artist who does a certain style very well. You've mastered this style. You've discovered how to create a way for other people to use your style with very minimal effort. So what we would call this in, the PC community is the mod aspect. And then suddenly you're able to now monetize the creation that you've done, so that people can take the tool that you've created and utilize that in their own sectors. That is where we're going with NFTs. It's the fact that it's no more of this, it's easier to pirate stuff when it's easier to just take the person's tool, use it, resell it as you need, and boom, the creator is consistently making a profit off of it.
Yeah.
The problem there is that it requires the endorsement from the creator. The creator has to have originally released it as an NFT. If a creator has already got work that's been released and someone releases an NFT and is smart about it, they can do incredible damage with it. That's one of the biggest problems we have right now. Keep that in mind.
I've kept it in mind. I've thought about it. And I say no. Yeah, look, it's got some way to go. I think this crypto crash now has filtered a lot of the garbage out. What's left standing at the end of this, you guys will recognize like the crypto punks, the apes, and all that stuff. Those will remain. But the days of simply making any kind of garbage NFT and it's selling in the millions is done. That's over. So this crypto crash will sort it out. It's basically separating the wheat from the chaff. Thanks, Eradicator.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, though.
Well done, Eradicator, with your engagement with Michael Wagner. I'm glad to see it went okay. Yeah. So, Star Citizen, NFTs, when?
Hopefully, personally, never. They'll probably come out at some point, though.
Look at my comments. Kinren saying that Star Atlas downloaded a flight model from Unreal Shop. Yes, Kinren, you're actually correct. Almost everything that they have in Star Atlas is assets from Unreal. And it makes sense. I mean, a lot of assets are in there already. Why you don't have to make anything new. Take what's existing and stick it in there. So I covered this in a video with Big Fry. Remember Big Fry was the guy that made that that mock metaverse with 4 other guys over a weekend. And they said, look at this beautiful metaverse. They make it sound like a big project, and it was just 4 guys who put it together. So that is what Star Atlas is doing, essentially, is they have what is a easily accessible store of assets. and they're pulling it together. Whether they can make a game out of that or not, we don't know, but they're starting somewhere, and they have a head start because they know where they need to go. Star Citizen already laid down the path, so they know what they have to do to get there. But like I said before, it's the problem they're going to run into is one of funding. If they can't keep funding it, then they're going to be in trouble. Hey, Slim Shady, what's up? Good to see you around. And in actual fact, we have kind of had NFTs in Star Citizen from the very beginning, if you think about it. When you bought your Javelin or Idris, same thing. It's unique. There's only one in it. They can't be replicated. Right?
I wouldn't put words in the mouth of CIG in 10 years in the future.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. So anyway, that was the deal with that. So let's take a look at what Xylo was saying now. Change of topic. Talking about 318. We have a couple of crucial meetings planned this week for our development. Dealership will review the targeted 318 timeline. Once that is concluded, we'll be able to provide you with all the more substantial blah blah. I can say this plan is targeting to have 318 build with persistent entity streaming in players' hands by late September Evocati rollout. So we had a small peek of that when they showed us that freelancer crashing into the side of a mountain and the wreckage persisted versus just despawning like it does right now. That's what we can expect to see. I'm curious to see what the hell's going to happen if there's 100 people all crashing into a mountain at the same time. And then everything persists? For how long? I don't know how servers will handle that. Be sure to be in test because we will definitely go test that out. Xylo continues, we also have an Inside Star Citizen segment in the works that takes a deep dive into the current progress status of persistent entity streaming coming soon. So for those who don't know, persistent entity streaming is one of the crucial things that we need in the game. Obviously, as the name says, it makes things persist. And a lot of it requires a lot of stuff to be fixed up in the back end to make it work. Well, Beastman, Seth, any comments on the PES? Negative?
I will just say that whatever Xylo says, just add 6 months onto it.
Yeah. No, yeah. we already saw Hader from Star Citizen Leaks basically say, I'm wrapping it up. I'm tired of this. There's nothing happening. Things are taking too long. But he'll be back the second that anything news drops. And I think 318 will probably be that too. But yeah, look, there's a lot of people taking time off now.
There's always the worst case scenarios with like timelines and stuff. So like if anything, they'll get Pez in, but maybe.
I can't see this being smooth. I'll be surprised if it's very smooth. They bring it in, but it is a critical step in where they need to go. And
I just love continuing to have this conversation as newer and younger backers keep on coming on, because believe it or not, everyone that's listening right now, Montoya and I, when we first backed this project, we were young.
I haven't aged at all.
If you look at the first picture of me and Montoya, we actually looked like we were young. But the fact of the matter is, this is how long it takes for a project of this scale to reach fruition.
How would you know? Because why the game is taking this long?
Okay, let's go back to Cyberpunk. Oh God,
10 years? No, Cyberpunk 8 years. All right.
Yeah, I think the big thing it points out is that even after 8 years, Cyberpunk had issues, and to be frank, that's going to happen.
Well, they talked about it for like 5 years, and then there was 3 years of actual development.
So yeah, Cyberpunk ran into a couple of problems. First problem was they overpromised on some things which they thought they could deliver, but turned out it won't run on PlayStation. So when they said this is going to be an open world and the NPCs are going to have day and night cycles, you see them walking around the day and at night they'll go to bed, in the morning they'll wake up and go to work. That didn't happen. The NPCs were the dumbest things in any game because they're just mindless, walking down the street, turn around and walk back, and sometimes there'll be 10 or 15 of the same looking NPC all next to each other. And the worst issue they had was the cops. The NPC cops just spawning out of nowhere.
Are we talking about
consoles?
Are we still talking about 2077?
What's up, Star Jump?
It sounds like we're talking about Star Citizen. Just
Oh. No, so the point I'm making was Cyberpunk, my playthrough of Cyberpunk, my first playthrough, was great. And it's because I didn't over-expect anything. I said the game is what it is. I ran to 2 or 3 bugs. I ran to 1 crash to desktop. But otherwise, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I think the visuals are great. I loved the gameplay about it. Yeah, the law system was stupid and the cops chasing you and things spawning out of nowhere. There were stupid things in it. But that didn't make me say, oh, this game is absolute garbage like some people. I think people who call the game absolute garbage lost out on what would have been a pretty fun game. And I know the game's a lot better now. I haven't played it recently, but from people I know that...
They had to develop on like all the consoles and stuff, so that would just slow everything down if you're doing that stuff all the time.
Yeah, like
I think that us being involved with Star Citizen from such an early age has actually
made us appreciate game development. It's true.
I think it's made us appreciate. I think it's made us appreciate the fact that when a game goes to final release, that you know what, the developers are like, well, this is what our publishers are pushing us to release. And meanwhile, here we are with Star Citizen. It's an alpha,
so
right?
Here's the other thing.
This isn't supposed to be even accessible by the public, but this is an open alpha, and we're enjoying it. We're having fun with an alpha game.
Here's the other thing. When I encountered a bug in Cyberpunk, I said, well, what happens if I do it this way? Or what happens if I go back, redo this, and come back, and I solved some bugs? Because if you play Star Citizen and you wake up in the hab and you go to the elevator and now you can't walk in because it's an invisible wall, you walk to the next elevator, call that one, run back to the original one, and now you can get in because who knows? There's ways to solve issues in these games. So I felt maybe my time in Star Citizen prepared me for things that might happen in Cyberpunk, which did, and that's why I managed to find my way around some bugs probably. By the way, Star Jump, we just talked about your 890 jump skin, and we said that CIG should definitely sell that skin for $50 and make $1 million. See if you can make that happen.
That's where we're getting to with even AAA publishers now. When a game launches, it's still an early beta. Like, again, they might have had a nice beta run moving into it, but when a game launches nowadays, they're still in early beta. But that's the game launch because that's what publishers are pushing them to do.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, it's both the hindrance as well as the advantage when it comes to Star Citizen, because they're like, no, we said that you back the game, you get to see what the development process is like.
In reality, CD Projekt Red should have delayed an extra year minimum, but they couldn't. They couldn't because the publisher said, no, get this out. They're a public company also. They have shareholders. And they said, we have to get this out because our shareholders will lose their minds if we don't.
Yeah, shareholders are the scariest thing. If you ever have a company, make sure it stays private. I'm just going to say that.
I'm going to write that down.
I just thought it was hilarious, though, because when it comes to Cyberpunk, again, everyone's like, so Montoya, you remember, because we were on Discord, and Cyberpunk had just come out, and everyone was like, oh, yeah. Oh, this is bricking 3090s, so don't run it. And I was literally
I did brick. Yes, that's right.
I was about to launch the game, and then I don't remember what member of the test staff was like, Seth, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't risk your con.
And I was like, I started reading the articles, and I was like, oh, I'll wait. But then once like that initial, like once the fix had come out where, okay, you have to go into GeForce settings, you have to throttle everything down, and so it won't brick it. But then I played the entire game from start to finish, not a single bug the entire time.
Really? Well, that's good.
And I was just like, what are these bugs that people are talking about? So I was like, okay.
So it wasn't only me. Exist played through also. Exist played like the first 10 minutes. He goes, the game's buggy, and then he never went back to it again. So that's too bad.
Let me play a second playthrough. So I started it up again, fresh character, fresh everything, and every single bug that people had been reporting started hitting the system. And I was just like, oh, okay. So there's obviously bugs, but like what's going on with it? So it clearly Project Red hadn't done enough troubleshooting when it comes to relaunching.
Yeah, the shocking amount. The PS4 was the PS4 release was terrible. I feel bad for anyone bored on PlayStation. Yeah, Starjump saying that Test Squadron's gained some love in the new Fleet Viewer. Thank you, Starjump. I bribed him for that, obviously. Yeah. But I really hope Cyberpunk does get a follow-up DLC sooner than later, because I'm dying to get back in there. I mean, the game still looks great. I do want to do another playthrough once I upgrade my machine and get some good cards in. The game is beautiful. I hope it gets more longevity.
Went towards.
Yeah. The other issue is with Cyberpunk was they made it seem like this is going to be the next GTA 5. This is going to be a city you live in. Right now it's only single player. There was going to be multiplayer co-op at least, but that got thrown out the window. I think it just became too expensive. But it had so much promise, and I'm kind of sad if it doesn't get anyway multiplayer. But maybe one day. I mean, they built a beautiful universe.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant, and it deserves multiplayer. It would be an absolute shame if it didn't.
Maybe one day.
I think the worst part right now is, so like I said, I played through my first playthrough, no bugs. Did the second playthrough, just was running into all the bugs that everyone was talking about. I was just like, no, I'm not going to finish it. And I can honestly tell you, like, on the new build that I have right now, Cyberpunk is not installed.
Yep.
Because why? Why install it? There's nothing to play through again, unless you want to go through the different story arcs.
Well, I did that. I played 3. I did 3 complete playthroughs. The last one was a what's it called? Netrunner. I did a full-on Netrunner build, and that just decimates everything.
My first run.
It was, yeah, the Netrunner build is just too OP. Like, you just stand there and like you choose like whatever virus it was, and everyone just drops dead around you. Kind of cool, but very OP. I enjoyed that, but I did like a playthrough with just pistols. I did a playthrough with just melee. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Punching people.
But yeah, like there's nothing left to do now. I've done all the endings, and now I'm kind of right. What happens next? So I hope they come back to it. I mean, they did okay. I think sales were okay at the end of the year. Sales were not bad, but it could have been a lot better. If it wasn't for the rough launch, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, you know, we're watching these trailers, and you're just like, oh my god, this entire like game was just gorgeous from start to finish, except when you're playing the game until you get to the cutscene parts, and even then sometimes the cutscenes are jarring. Again, not in the first playthrough. I had none of the jarring cutscenes. I had none of the random NPCs coming in and like mugging the police officers as they're arresting you, which that was super fun. It's like, okay, so the police officer that was arresting me just got like knifed in the throat, and yet I'm still under arrest.
No,
I don't know how that happened.
Great character development. No spoilers here on Played, but someone dies and it's very sad. Overall, did a great job. Just the problem was over-promising. They promised too much.
The other thing as well, though, look at Red Dead Redemption 2. That also has ridiculously jarring cutscenes. Sometimes you'll be saying goodbye to your wife, and then being dragged behind the train is a horse in a carriage.
I haven't played that, but that sounds awesome.
Oh no, it was absolutely great. I love those bugs.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like, you don't see people complaining as much about that versus something like 2077, because purely people were oversold.
Which brings us, let's tie it all right back to Star Citizen. Has Star Citizen overpromised? And when Squadron 42 does finally come out, is there so much hype and expectations built into it that no matter how good Gary Oldman is, it'll just suck? There's a risk. That's a big risk.
Here's what I'm gonna say when it comes to overpromising. Real quick, and I'll try to be quick. I know you're trying to talk. Overpromising is something that you're expecting and then you don't end up seeing, right?
Okay.
Instead, I feel like what they've released so far has actually been under-promising.
Yeah, I agree.
They promised us one thing, and instead we're getting, hold on. So you mean to tell me I kill you, you're another player, I kill you, I can keep you alive, take all your stuff off you, revive you, and then watch you suffocate in the atmosphere because you no longer have a suit on. I'm sorry, but that's under promising. Like, yes, you promised us some PvP engagement where you get to interact with other people, but no. Like, I'm on a bunker mission. This guy comes to collect my bounty, even though I'm in the bunker specifically to clear my bounty, and then I get to keep the guy hostage and be like, hey, sorry, bud. Like, this isn't personal, but it's personal. Like, why didn't you just be like, hey, what are you doing in the bunker? It's like, no, I'm going to take all your stuff, I'm going to revive you, and then let you die because you didn't want to have the interaction with other people to just be like, hey, what are you doing in the bunker? I think that's great.
All right. Well, look, player interactions is something which will have to be explored further because, I mean, right now, anytime I bump into someone, I'm going to get shot or I'm going to shoot him immediately. Like, there's no, well, how's your day going? What are you up to? I think there'll come a time where in certain areas, especially, that while you will always be able to shoot someone if you wanted to, the repercussions of doing so will just be too great that you just won't want to.
Yeah, the thing is, right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the prison. I hate the prison system, and that's what's supposed. Like, when I go to prison, I log off and I go, I'll just be back tomorrow because I don't feel like going to get oxygen. I don't feel like mining rocks. I don't feel like going through those damn tunnels to get out. I'm out of here. I'm going to log off and I'll just come back tomorrow. But that's kind of what's supposed to be. But I mean, you get prisoned too easily in the game right now. Anyway.
That's it. It's like, it's especially when you're not taking on that risk. You're not the person that's going, I'm going to commit these crimes, knowing full well that I might have to deal with that horrible prison gameplay.
And it's real fun. It's real fun right now. Not funny, but fun. The fact that in the background of Montoya's stream right now, he has the ship Showdown loop playing, and it shows a Tonk loading into the back of a ship. Which, if you do that wrong, crime stat, you go to prison.
Or everything blows up.
like, I mean, again, the loop is going, and it's Tonk and prison.
Yep.
But
look, there's tons of stuff to fix.
Let
me say it. I'll say Alpha.
Alpha.
Even
as well, like, you're doing your bounty missions, you're going on and you're completing you're being an upstanding bounty hunter, upstanding citizen hunting the criminals, and all of a sudden you shoot the guy's ship, you kill the pilot, and you shoot another round because you don't know that you've killed the pilot, and all of a sudden you get a crime stat because you just damaged a ship that didn't belong to anyone.
Yeah. No, look, there's tons of stuff to fix, but I think they're on the right track with that and making the repercussions of bad actions hurt you or at least waste your time. Because at the end of the day, you can pay a fine. We'll all have space bucks at the end. They'll be rich enough, but your time is something which is valuable. And going to prison is a gigantic waste of time. I hate doing that. That's why I try not to get crime stats, even though they come very easily. Speaking of Ship Showdown, while we're on this, what's looking like it's gonna? Did I show you what the actual things are right now? What is the?
Well, the fact that the Gray Cat has been removed from contention right now is
as it should.
Like, really, the Gray Cat, the most amazing vehicle of all time.
All right, so looking at this, the winner is going to be the Scorpius or the 400i. It's going to come down to those two, in my opinion.
I mean, so it's the X-wing. It's the X-wing versus the Razor Crest. That's basically what we're down to right now. It's the X-wing versus the Razor Crest. Who's going to win?
Exactly. And I think that they won't go for the fighter because not everyone's into the fighters, but the 400i is more of a good all-rounder. I say the 400 wins.
Did they say what was rewarded this year?
It's going to be a skin same as last year. It's always a skin, right? I forget.
Yeah.
I think it's last time.
Hey, man, I don't remember. It's been so many years.
It's the fact that the 400i has the iconic look of Gonzo. I think not everyone's going to go for it.
Let's see what's happening in this picture here. Rescue Squad 1. Is that a new org? Who's this guy? Who's the Imperium guy? Don't
So
know.
there were a couple of disqualifications, just so that you know. A couple of
I like it.
I almost said RSI employees, but CIG employees might have submitted their own submissions, and they were doing very well, and they got called out for submitting their own pictures using developer tools to create the screenshots. But you know,
Nice.
Look at Miss Gabbers over here. She's big on. Well, she's trying to push a Twitch channel too. She's a gigantic nerd. Look at all her stuff. Damn. Huh. And she's got a nice HOTAS going too. Good for her. Don't know what chip she was trying to get. Mercury
You need
Star
that.
Runner.
You need that RGB right there. To be
Board
cooler.
gamer. Oh, should I be submitting something? Because it seems like they're letting all these other influencers submit stuff. Should I be sending an Aurora?
Yeah.
Are 500 of them?
There we go.
Yeah.
Guacamole.
We
Oh,
could
it's always
spare
yellow.
one.
It's green. Tonk. Here we go. Something from Starjump Fleet Viewer. I don't know if he's still in the channel, but he's coming out with his fancy Fleet Viewer in 2 days. He'll be releasing it after I don't know how many years of work. And here is the much rarely seen Retribution, which is the longest ship in Star Citizen. I don't know if it's the biggest. I think a King ship's a bit bigger. But,
I think it's got the largest mass.
Is
I
it?
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful
and I think it is bigger
representation.
than a king ship.
Gives you a real scale of size. Take a look at the Javelin compared to the Retribution. The thing's enormous. And I believe that's going to be a Squadron 42 asset, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be. I think in game, like in Star Citizen, it'll be a space station of some sort. But I don't think it's ever going to be something that moves, unless it's for an event, maybe.
Yeah.
no, it's going to be player capturable. It's
Should
going
be.
to be an asset. It's not that big. Yes, it's big.
We've
right
already
now.
named ours. It's called the Distribution. Everyone knows that.
I know
Everyone
that the
says it's
Bengal
the
will definitely
best.
be.
Ask anyone. They say it's the best.
Where's our whales?
Yeah, but that does look pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing how the models look and what this much fabled Fleet Viewer is going to be all about. And he mentioned earlier in chat that there is something Test Squadron Easter eggs in there. So we'll see. Take care, Victrix. Thanks for dropping in.
I do think, Montoya, though, while they have the servers open for so much, we should probably submit a screenshot of everyone flying Auroras and blotting out a sun. I do think that should be a screenshot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get in there and do
100
that.
Auroras. Yep.
To create an eclipse of from the shadow.
Is this Germany? Well, no, this is the UK. Which office is this? I don't know.
Your stream's like 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, okay. Give it a second. Here it comes. We see the Space Viking and Aaron Roberts. Aaron Roberts lost a ton of weight. Thank goodness. I was getting concerned for his health there for a little while. I don't recognize many of these faces. This is probably Germany, right?
It's Cologne, man. It said it in a hashtag. I caught it like 20 seconds.
Ah, there we go.
after
Yeah, I didn't
you
look at
talked
that.
about it.
Yes. Good
Like-
going.
Fake news.
First off, you're on the stream, and I'm like catching up on your stream, and I saw the hashtag.
So the Saber Raven was submitted for. Oh,
New one.
so I have a Saber Raven that I got because someone gave it for me a birthday present. But during our 2008, where was
Birthday
Texas
present?
CitizenCon?
Birthday present.
You owe me a Raven, all right? See this box?
I
See this box?
gave
Seth, this
you a
box.
Raven.
Okay, yeah. Let me pull out the little piece of paper in here that gives me the code for the Raven. Okay, here I am. I'm going to open the box up because in it is going to be a code for this awesome Saber Raven that I really, really want. And surely Seth did not take it. You took it out.
It's not in the box.
This was okay. Xylo, when we were doing at the Texas CitizenCon, Xylo goes, "I left a little something for you upstairs." And I go, "Oh, cool." And I get there, and it's the Optane Drive because he gave one box to all the booths over there. But I wasn't at the booth to accept it. And then when I opened up, yeah, I've got the cool 250 gig drive, but I don't have a Saber Raven code.
Montoya, I got 4 of those. I gave them out to you, Exist, and who's the other guy that was manning the booth?
Seth is a Saber Raven thief. All right, he denied me my second Saber Raven. Hey, Athy, what's up?
I'm about to send you one of my other Saber Ravens.
I don't want your used ship. I don't know where it's been. No, I'm good. I got one. I don't need any more. But
because trust me, that was an unopened box I gave you.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I gave that to you in person. That wasn't even shipped to you.
You saying we have a Saber Raven thief in test?
Someone stole it, and it wasn't me.
All these years, I thought it was you.
Oh my god! I'm looking in my hangar right now.
I have one. I'm good. I don't need another. But that's I always wondered because I got to go. Like, where is the code for this? There was no code that came with it. Oh, but there is one ship. Maybe those of you who got the Optane Drive, you'll know this. All right. There's only one ship in Star Citizen that has a smell. So if you do have one of these Optane Drive boxes, open it up and smell that. Because that is the smell that I forever associate with the Saber Raven. And it smells like fresh electronics, plastic kind of thing.
Was it the Omega or the Gamma that you also got from buying a real life product?
The what? The Gamma?
I think it was the Mustang. The
AMD. AMD Omega.
The AMD one.
Yeah. No, the AMD was just sold. There was no thing to buy with. It was just sold as a promotional item with. I guess they were doing a promotion with AMD at the time, but there was no physical item yet to buy.
Okay, I thought it was the AMD CPU you had to buy.
I almost melted that chip a long time ago because it was worthless. I go like, what the hell am I ever going to do with it? I don't fly it, just sitting there, but I'm glad I kept it.
Hold on. Montoya, I just found the box for my Optane that they gave me for being a part of the cosplayers from that convention.
Yeah.
Which was an entirely separate gift. Has the code in it. I had scratched it off and everything.
Oh,
there's only one code in that box.
Okay.
So,
suspicious.
As far as I'm concerned, Jared lied to you.
Huckabee. I knew it. My nemesis.
Yes, man.
Yeah, but the Saber being chosen to go into the ship showdown would have been nice. It would be nice to get some alternate skins on that, but I think it is the right idea to keep it exclusive and not touch it because they cannot sell it again.
I remember now. I gave you that in the hotel that night.
Sorry,
I was
what?
like, I gave you the Optane in the hotel that night, and then you were like, hey, did we get more? And I was like, yeah, we've got 2 more from the booth, and you ended up giving those out as giveaways.
Oh, son of a... I gave away... Oh, my God.
You gave away 2 more Optanes.
I mean, I have some alt accounts, and they all need this ship. Yeah, well. I'm a very generous person. I feel good about giving it away. Then...
Just want to point out Optane Gate revealed right here on Montoya's stream.
And I wish I had an Optane drive right now because they got cancelled, didn't they?
Yeah, it turns out. I mean, it was expensive, and M2 just came along and ate their lunch. But it's still a solid drive. Like the rewrites on it are supposedly very good.
Well, that's the thing is that they were so fast, like latency wise, that they were honestly. I reckon they could be in a separate product other than M.2.
So I mean, I'm saving this drive for my new build. It's Star Citizen's going to sit alone on this drive with nothing else on it.
Hell yeah!
And that's going to be my tribute and use for that card.
Epic gaming card.
But it takes up a slot though, right?
That'll be in 10 years, and that drive will be so out of date.
It'll be the slowest thing in the computer. Well, it is. It's really kind of slow. Yeah.
All my 980 Pro NVMe sorry, I don't know if I can say that. All my NVMe Pro cards are going to be obsolete by the time this game comes out. So
True.
it's cool though, because here's the thing though. We get to experience the game development. We get to see the game as it's coming to life. Yeah, we don't always play 24/7 because, hey, it's not a game that's released yet. We're helping the game develop.
That's the funny thing, because every time I build a machine, I go, this is the one that I will play when Star Citizen comes out. And
Oh,
I thought the machine I have now is it, but that's still not it.
I stopped that 6 years ago, man.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I was like, you know what? When I need to upgrade, it's gonna be the upgrade that I want to do, and it's gonna be something that gets me to play a certain game, right? So like right now, Warhammer 3. Oh my God, Immortal Empires. If you guys haven't checked it out, you're missing out.
Immortal Empires?
Yeah, Immortal Empires of for Total Warhammer 3.
I have not seen that yet.
If you don't know what that is, it's okay.
Oh, speaking of games coming out, I mean, Gamescom was just on. What AAA titles are coming out now that have caught your interest? Because I don't know if it's just me.
None, personally.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Callisto Protocol.
What is that? I've heard that. I haven't looked into it. What's that about?
It's the new Dead Space.
Dead Space type game?
Yeah, that's basically just the creator of Dead Space is the newest game.
So I don't know if it's old age,
Warhammer
but
Dark Tide.
I watched it and I look at some trailers and I'm like, nothing interests me. So I don't know if I'm just too invested in Star Citizen to be impressed by anything else. But nothing's captured my attention. And go, wow, like Starfield.
There could be stuff.
Yeah, so Starfield's the only game
until something.
Callisto Protocol.
I think the biggest issue that we're running into is early access games, because when it comes down to it, for 2023, the game that's nearing full release that a lot of people, again, this is just coming from my small little area that I'm at, but Satisfactory. People have been coming up to me, been like, hey, have you checked out Satisfactory? It's like, yeah, I have 3,000 hours in it. How? It's just coming out. It's been in early access for years. Like, how are you just finding out about this game? Like, I don't
Not everyone's on top of
understand.
things like you are.
No, it's just like early access games have ruined the appeal to a lot of people when it comes to single player or even singular multiplayer maps, right? So if you can open up a multiplayer game just for you and your friends, then only you and your friends are going to have that experience. Satisfactory is one of those, and with it nearing its final release, there's been a lot of hype about everything that's coming out, which I hope Star Citizen has looked at. Oh, hey, look at how this open world and how they place items and how there's a locking structure for bases and things that we can place down on the open world.
You would think CIG has looked at other games and said, okay, this is how they do it, like the inventory system. Why is it taking them until now to get the inventory system the way it is?
I think that comes down to, like, you know how they've got their pipeline and they have plans on doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel that their current inventory system, I believe that internally they think it's really not great, and they definitely want to replace it. But it's one of those things that you can't rush it, and there's a lot of tech that they need right now in order to get that thing out through the window.
Cusp. We're on the. I feel like we're just on the cusp of the tech that we need to get everything to go downhill. So,
yeah,
close.
So it's just taking forever. That's all.
Yeah, like you don't want them wasting, and they've even said this themselves. They don't want to waste time working on something that they're just going to replace in 2 or 3 years.
What did they call?
All the old ships are,
Was it the card system? What did they show us for the holograms coming up as the interface thing? What was that called?
That was the building blocks. I forget.
Was that inside Star Citizen? Where did they show it to us?
It was the last 2, I think, or 3.
Game Dev Kart Racing Sprint Showdown, is that it? Ongoing work. Because that was one of the things which has been holding back all the HUD reworks. Because they were waiting on that system to come into place before they could do anything else.
Dude, I've been waiting for the Caterpillar's doors to be fixed for literally, 8 years now?
The Caterpillar has doors? What?
It's got a lift.
Like, yeah, it's supposed to have like each of its doors is supposed to be like a hybrid lift.
Oh yeah,
so you
yeah,
can actually
yeah,
pull stuff
yeah.
into it.
I guess the cargo
And there's
effect is going to
still-
make that kind of
Mostly the-
important, right?
Yeah, but also it's useful for like imagine moving vehicles and being able to launch them all in parallel. Like there's so many uses for it that are actually really cool. But at the same time, it's something that cannot be worked on. They said they're going to fix it in 3.5 and they never did. But I also understand from a developer point of view,
Yeah.
they're
So-
constantly finding new ways of
That's
doing things.
the rough part of understanding. I understand how much I don't know about game development. I always thought I knew enough. Like, hey, why don't they do? That's so stupid that they're not doing this. The reticle on the glaive is not pointing where it should be pointing. Why don't they fix that? Why is it? They're so stupid. Why are they not fixing that? But then you talk to them and you listen to what they say and say, why should we put 30, 40 hours into fixing it on one ship where we can put in, all those dev hours to fix them on all the ships at the same time by making this tool? And you understand it. You don't like it. You don't like it's going to take another year, but you understand why it's going to take the year.
100%. I hate everything about it. But the thing is, as someone that has to lead these sorts of teams, I can tell you right now, it's absolutely just, it's cruel.
It makes you feel like a big Star Citizen apologist. Gracias,
Yeah.
Andreas. Thank you for the 10. It makes you feel like a giant Star Citizen apologist when there's tons of new people who join the org every week and they go like, when's this coming? Why is this not done? This is taking too long. And you explain, well, this isn't done because X, Y, and Z, and it might take 3 months, but now it's off the roadmap because something else is happening. And you listen to yourself and you go, holy crap, like I just added 9 months onto this one small thing being done, and it's going to take at least a year.
Yeah.
We as a society are too internet bound now that information is just right there. So when we
Chad
don't
is just
have
asking about the skin I'm
People
showing
just
you
go
from.
crazy.
This is the fancy. This is fan made, by the way, guys. This is not in the game. But Seth, you're a big fancy rich spaceman. Would you be against people being able to buy the skin?
No, I mean, I saw it and I was like, oh, isn't that the 890 Executive Edition? And it's like, oh, wait, no, it's not. That's way too dark. Because there is an 890 Jump Executive Edition.
There
that
is?
Has, yeah.
The
I've never
600.
seen one.
No, there's an 890 Executive Edition.
A black and gold.
Yes, black and gold trim. I don't think I'm imagining this.
You're imagining, you're thinking the 400. You're
The
Looking at
600.
my
Oh
hanger
no, the
right
600.
now.
Yes.
600 high has the executive one. You have to spend 10.
The 890 jump does not. But this is what.
Yeah, there totally isn't one for Legatus members. No, totally not.
Maybe in
I
name,
mean,
but there is no actual.
I'm just looking in my hanger, and there's totally not an executive edition that has black and gold trim. Totally not. Yeah. You guys just keep donating that money to CIG.
So guys, let me show you the best thing that CIG could possibly make, and this is an org dedicated skin. Actually, that would make tons of money by allowing orgs to have their own skin, or allowing orgs to maybe put their own logos onto a ship. Because if we had to just get this, I would buy them all.
I'd imagine they would have something like
Stealth
that. In the
bomber
future.
executive, yes.
Not to put words in CIG's mouths, they might never come out with this, but having a sort of library that if you're part of an org, the org leader, like Montoya, would add, Montoya's face to the
yes.
to the front of the
I want
ship,
my
and then
face on Rambo's body on your ship.
I just want to point out that VKR just revealed to the world that he is Australian by saying livery and not livery, because even as an uneducated American, I know it's pronounced livery, not livery.
Is it?
I can tell you right now, it's a problem I've had for a very long time.
No,
and
I've said livery also. Who pronounces it livery? Chat.
a lot of people.
Livery or livery? Livery 1, livery 2.
It's
know.
livery,
But the thing is,
literally.
Is it livery?
That is
Australians
the
pronounce it
proper
as that
British
too.
enunciation of it.
'Cause I don't know if I've ever heard the word pronounced. I just assumed it was livery. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's the reason I say it as livery, is because I've never heard it pronounced.
English is a
And so-
stupid language, man. Those of
read
you who
it,
are
and I said,
English
"Oh."
second language, I feel for you. This is tough. I mean, even English speakers, we can't figure it out.
Yep. So
because it's like I live in like horse country right now, and it's like it's livery. It's livery.
Huh.
yeah, no, like I've had people from Newcastle correct me, and that's Sydney. So
You know what?
That's Australia.
We'll have to go onto some Elite Dangerous streams or videos because they have liveries for their ships, and they're titled livery. So I want to see if they call them livery or liveries. I'm kind of leaning towards that though. I think it's livery.
It is like that's from
I could be wrong.
Oh, what is it called? That game with the cars that can fly, and it's basically soccer but with cars.
Flying cars?
Cyberpunk?
I can't.
It
Rocket
comes.
League.
Okay, so it comes from cavalry. When you're talking about the actual livery and like maintaining of horses, so you would have
Don't you mean
certain
husbandry?
livery. No, but yes, you are correct that husbandry is the raising of horses. However, livery
Husbandry sounds like such a dirty word.
comes from the fact that you would have the different things that you
Animal
would,
husbandry. Shut your mouth. Can we say that on YouTube?
You could say poop. I don't know.
Because husbandry just
We'll leave
means
that
looking after, like resource management, looking after.
Hey, Athy, if you're on Discord, you can hop in.
That's my take on it.
That's why it's livery,
And
though.
join us on a
It's
debate on livery or livery. And let's find other words to debate also.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Okay.
I'll settle this. Livery pronunciation. Give it to me. Here we go.
Oh, well, it's not pronunciation; it's pronunciation. So
Shush.
let's start.
Here we
Let's
go.
start off with that.
Yeah.
Livery.
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 That's settled. It's livery. Well, at least we'll go that way.
Fake news.
Thank you, Starjan, for the beautiful picture, by the way. We will cherish this, and thank you very much for including us in your beautiful fleet viewer. Much appreciated, and lots of testies are definitely going to love that. So I thought we'll talk a bit more about them, showing us more pictures of the Banu Merchantman now, which is turning out to be an absolute chunker of a ship. Originally sold at $250, and they were sure of giving us the correct field of view this time, not making it look like a duck-billed platypus. But what are your thoughts on how the ship's looking and the gigantic scoop at the bottom and what it's turning out to be? In my opinion, and I don't say this for many ships, but I think it's too much ship, especially what they're showing it can do with the whole marketplace and everything inside. It's a lot of ship.
It's too much ship.
I think that we might find that for what it is, it might have other limitations that we can't see just right now. Like considering it's an alien
Price?
ship.
I think they'll jack up the price.
Maybe also maintenance. Like right now we have really poor knowledge.
Andres,
of
thank you for the
maintenance.
$2.
Well, we could because we have increased server caps now. It should be more able to be flown, but it is a big ship. It's a big ship.
Yeah, I don't complain about the Javelin being big. I don't complain about the Idris being big, 890 jump, whatever. But for some reason, the Banu Merchantman, they showed us inside, and they showed us this is the marketplace, and this is like the prayer room, and this is like, what the hell, man? It's massive. There's all these rooms, and this is where you pee standing up against a wall, and this is where you rub your back. I don't know what it is. Like it's a lot of ship. It's a lot of ship.
it is.
They also have the mating chamber. Don't forget that. They have literally.
Pool.
I'm not joking. There's a mating chamber built into the ship. Like that was something that they had to include into the Banu Merchantman.
Well,
Banu erotica.
Look, if you're into your role playing and you're role playing a Banu, or you're a human dating a Banu, and you need the mating chambers, it's part of your role play. You paid $30,000 for this game.
The hospital room too. You just sit
Oh yeah, they got
all
the med beds there. Are cool. You sit in this gel. It's unique. Yeah.
The thing I think that I have problems with is it's all that, but also it's considered a capable combat ship because the Banu, for whatever reason, made all of their civilian ships combat ships.
The top turrets and the side weapons are supposed to be size 7s. look to be pretty formidable. So interesting.
Didn't those size 7s used to be fixed?
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is turning out to be quite a serious ship. Well, onwards to the next exciting ship, which is the Drake Corsair. Shown right here.
Oh man!
So
Super excited for that one.
here's where I stand with ships in Star Citizen. I've gone from I must have one of everything to consolidate to I don't need all this stuff. I need one heavy fighter, one light fighter. I need one hauler and one kind of general ship. And this, so far to me, strikes me as an all-roundish kind of ship that just your everyday driver that it's got good firepower, you can carry stuff with it, you can carry 3 or 4 friends.
I mean, just accept your losses and just continually make sure that your Legatus pack is up to date and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking of getting a second Legatus pack. You know, us normal people like to buy second and third ones just in case we need.
You know, to sell off into like,
But even,
you know.
Yeah, the Legatus pack also itself is when you buy a Legatus pack, when will you ever use 90% of the ships in there? You won't. They're just going to sit there and never used. You'll have them.
No, you use them.
You
Trust
will?
me.
You'll use 3 different kinds of Auroras, the Legionnaire.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
I'll say that.
So remember how, like, again, so Montoya, you've done videos where you're like waiting for the ship to be reclaimed, but
Yes.
like when you have the Legatus pack, you don't do that. You're just like,
An
well, I
Aurora
don't
takes 30, was it 10, 20 seconds to reclaim? You have 2, a light fighter and an Aurora. Between the 2, you'll never need anything else.
Hey,
Keep in
20
mind,
seconds
Montoya.
is a long time, man. 20 seconds is a long time. That's the time it takes me to go and call an elevator. I'm just saying.
I will say, keep in mind, you are an org leader.
What?
You don't have to think about yourself. You have to think about everyone.
What are you talking about? You should pull yourself up by your bootstraps and take care of yourself. Looking for handouts.
You could totally
No,
do
it's
that,
true.
you know?
Uh,
You need your fighting force.
Yeah,
All
they-
you have to do is
Well, yeah, I mean, the initial thought is, I'll get
everybody
all these
get
ships because there'll be people who need them. But as the years have gone on, everyone's gotten multiple ships. And what you don't buy for real money, you buy in-game. So you go mining, you make 1 million UEC, and you go buy yourself whatever ship you want, and you're good. So the theory of having ships to keep lending people used to make sense, but kind of makes less sense as we go forward. So that's why I raise, is this the good
Finance.
all-rounder that, we'll just end up using? Or we will, for me anyway.
I think as well for like
Just
for like
lease it to
fleets.
people.
Just well, that's the thing is like for fleets as well. You need carrier vehicles or carrier craft, and you don't want to have to rent out 50 potential, fighters for your javelin or whatnot,
Yeah.
and then find out you didn't need to rent 50. You only need to rent like
Well, yeah,
20
so-
because the 20 that the 10 that died, right? The other 10 were sufficient to
The
cover
way
those
I
losses.
see it, for new people coming in, one good all-rounder, Cutlass Black is great. 400 I think is great. The Corsair is going to be awesome as a daily driver. 1 or 2 combat ships. 1 or 2 either your mining ship or your what's the other thing coming into the game now? The
Salvage.
yes, the Vulture, and for work, and I think you're good. Like you really don't need 30, 40, 50 ships like we thought you would.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you're
Saber. If you have a Saber, you're good, because then you can just disable other people that own those ships and take over their ships.
Let me see.
and-
Let me check on my Saber Raven. 1 second. Let me see it.
No, not the Raven. Just the Saber. That's all you need. Just the Saber.
Sabers are an amazing ship, and they've always been ridiculously amazing.
Anyway, guys, we're coming up on 9 o'clock. I'm going to take a break in 5 minutes and get the kids to bed. But before we do, let's have a quick look at the cave system here they're showing us in most recent Star Citizen. And this is a welcome change for me. They're opening the caves up. They're putting more lighting in. Personally, I hate caves. I hate the prison system. I hate any mission that makes you go in. I avoid missions which make you go in caves. But here, let me pause it. This makes it normal. I think this opens it up. I think they like the claustrophobic kind of thing, which I felt was not necessary. I don't want to be claustrophobic. Not that I suffer from claustrophobia. I don't care for it. And so when I get a mission to go find someone missing in a cave, I ignore the mission. I don't want it. But this definitely looks like making caves a lot more accessible or open and more interesting.
I think the annoying thing about caves back in the past as well is that they were so prone to anomalies. And there could be anything from, oh, I have become part of the Earth, to I have gone through the Earth, to, oh, there is now 2 million NPCs and they're all John Wick.
VKR, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I only spent I only spent 3 hours jumping into a wall with like 12 other test members all trying to free me from said wall. Like, caves were perfect. They need no improvement. Like,
yeah, Buzzkiller, I get motion sickness in those caves. Like the low gravity, or I think something desyncs the movement that makes me I get motion sickness from that.
It started out with just me and one. It started out with just me and one other org member, and we were like, "Oh, I'm stuck in the wall," and he was like, "Don't worry, I'll get you out." And then the next thing you know, you have, like, everyone that's online in Test Squadron either in ships above, like being like, "Don't worry, we've got Overwatch," and then everyone else doing missions underneath the ground, stacking boxes of shit to try and get me out of the rock. I mean, things we don't record and don't post onto Reddit.
It's
which
alpha.
I don't understand why we don't.
It's alpha.
Oh, dude. When the Hammerhead first came out, and missiles didn't actually explode when they made contact, I remember we had the Hammerhead on ground, we had a Cyclone, and I was in the turret, I believe, and I can't remember who was flying the Hammerhead, but it was O-Lefty, that's right. We told O-Lefty, hey, shoot us with every single missile you got. And so he lined it all up, we drove straight at him, he fired them all, and we went flying. It was like something out of a full-on like anime or something like that. Full-on just, we were spinning around, we were being chased by 50, I think maybe 60 size 3 missiles.
The game has its moments. I mean, that's the reason why we still stick around, because what they've, and this is an argument I see pretty often, it comes back to me also, people argue with me, they go, what if the game's bad when it comes out? But the thing is, we're playing the game right now. And we don't have to wait for it to come out to decide, because we can see the state of the game right now. So if it's like it is now, just more polished, then we're good. And there's moments like that. While we're talking, I'm showing the footage of the freelancer crashing into the side of a mountain. This is persistent entity streaming, or part of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's the hull of the ship persisting rather than despawning right away. So we'll see how that works out. But in closing, guys, lots of magical moments. Game is beautiful. Banu merchant is too big. NFTs are good. Let's wrap it up.
Thank you very much.
Oh. Well, thank you, Seth and VKR and Wild Beastman, for dropping in. This was kind of an impromptu. It was supposed to be just a test stream. Well, it's a testing the stream. Seems to go okay. Light's good. Mic's good. Chat, you're awesome. Thank you. Athy, I was listening, not watching. Well, you missed out because we were all topless. Maybe it's better you weren't watching.
I do want to point out, though, that Montoya does snore. He is a horrible snorer.
This is a lie.
It's bad.
Fake news, all right? Fake news.
Yeah.
From the one night that Seth and I slept together, well, we weren't together.
Ew,
we were in the same room.
Hold on. 4 nights. We slept 4 nights together.
Let's not speak of it. I mean, he claims I snore, and I go, that's impossible. Then he goes, you have proof, and he plays me snoring sounds. That could be anyone.
It's actually a video of me recording him snore.
Huh?
And he's like, that could be anyone. It's like,
I've got video of you singing Rebecca Black's Friday. Don't make me bring it up.
Well, that's true. But that's true, though. That's not a false statement. Like, first off, if you don't like that song, I mean,
no, I think it's a classic. Everyone should be listening to it every Friday. It's everyone knows that, right? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for dropping in. We will try to schedule regular streams. I think even Fridays are a good day for one, or Saturdays. We'll see what time works best. I'll check the YouTube stats for when most viewers are on, and we'll try to schedule in that time. But otherwise, Athy and the rest of you in test, this channel is, I'll probably put some kind of limitations on it, but everyone's free to drop in and just talk and catch up with news and Maybe even play Star Citizen one of these days. I heard people are playing the game.
Yeah, I should probably do that at some point.
Yeah.
I've got to get back to my meetings because I've had a little bit of reprieve and now have to get back in. I'll catch you guys around.
Thanks, Vika. Seth, good seeing you. Wild Beast Man, everyone else, thank you for dropping in. And don't forget to like and subscribe in the comments below. I appreciate. I don't know. Does this stay on once I stop streaming? I don't even know how that works. We'll figure it out. Okay, guys.
Shut it down.
Catch you later. Thanks for coming by.